even if temporarily you're using air purifiers, don't stop looking for why you're using an air purifier. Use is not something that anybody should need to use permanently. And I hear people that are building new buildings with all... Hello everyone, I'm Cheryl Seco, founder of AvoidingMold.com, architect, educator on all things building wellness. I'm sharing a little bit about air purifiers. So much about what we're doing when we're dealing with water damage and mold in buildings and building defects is expensive. This is not. One thing I do want to caution you on related air purifiers, though, is one thing that is expensive about air purifiers is using an air purifier instead of dealing with the why you have the problem in the first place. So an air purifier is a little bit about like having an infection and you put a Band-Aid over it so you don't see it and you think it's gonna go away, or that it's not there because you can't see it. Or you take a bunch of ibuprofen or aspirin so you don't feel the pain, but it's still there and it's still infected. Well, when our buildings are infected and we have water damage and mold in them, the symptom is poor air quality. But just focusing on getting rid of the symptom is not the best way to solve the problem. So the number one thing I want to leave you with is solve the problem. Even if temporarily you're using air purifiers, don't stop looking for why you're using an air purifier. Use is not something that anybody should need to use permanently. And I hear people that are building new buildings with all this air purification. I can tell you, I don't have any in my house because I put my money in making sure the house isn't going to have bad air quality to begin with. And I put my money into stopping water damage and avoiding mold. But things do happen, just like in our bodies. You get an infection, you get a cut. In a building, life happens and buildings age, and there could be a wind event, a rain event. It could be a tree falls on the house. It could be just something that needs maintenance, because as things age, they do need maintenance. So that's when we could need to have air purification. But don't stop figuring out why your air quality is bad and fixing that. So usually you get what you pay for in air purifiers, but not always. So I do have a very expensive air purifier that I bought, well, when we first started on this journey, which was 2005. We still do have that one. I actually don't use it all that often. We did replace the filter on it, which I think was about $50 or more at one point. But we don't run air purifiers all the time, but I do run my box fans, the do-it-yourself version. So for under $30, you basically can get a $16, $18 box fan and a $9, $10, $12 HEPA filter. And you can stack them up. Once you run the fan, if you put it on the right way, the suction of the air will keep the filter connected. And it takes a ton of dust out of the air. Mold lives on dust. So if we can, to the extent that we can remove dust out of the air, we can improve the air quality. And this video that's attached to this blog post, or the link to this blog post, is by a University of Michigan Sinus Center doctor. It's actually downright cheap. I have 4 of them in my own house, and so I really recommend getting these, because the way I know it works is because I have to change my filters. So I don't even run them all the time, but I do run them, for instance, after we clean. If we're moving a lot of stuff around that's generating dust in the air, then I have them all running. So we've been downsizing, so I'm cleaning out my basement. We got the box fans and the filters running down there, and they're collecting dust out of the air, which really does help. Avoid any air purifier that emits ozone. Ozone is bad news. Don't get an air purifier that needs that. I don't know how many I have. I have 4 of the box fans. I have another one in the basement that's the expensive one, which we actually aren't using at the moment. And then I have a couple other ones. I have some that they're shelf size that I'd used in the car at one point. I got at Costco. I've got a bunch of them, different ones from Costco. Costco can be a good source. They're not paying me for that recommendation, but they do have some good prices. Know that the price usually equates to how quiet it is, but do read the manufacturer's recommendations in terms of size and how much area it covers, and do not go over that. If the purifier says it's recommended for 300 square feet, Put it in a room less than 300 square feet and close the door. Never, never run an air purifier with your windows open. Won't work. We cannot air purify the whole neighborhood. So the way air purifiers work is they're trying to do air changes per hour. So you have to have a defined space, and outside we don't have a defined space. So that's another tip. But give this one a try. Save yourself some money. Finally, something that you can save yourself money on, but never ever forget to look for the cause and keep focusing on that. But this will help along the way. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, hit subscribe. For more free information on safe building, avoiding mold, and water damage, visit avoidingmold.com.
Actually, a really inexpensive way that you can make your own.